I think Trump is looking at, if not defeating the communist Chinese, severely damaging their economy and hence militarily, the way Reagan did the Soviet Union through economics. The truth is, as big as the communist Chinese economy is, it's not as big as ours. It's 2/3 or so the size of the American economy. They cannot beat us economically, at least right now. They cannot beat us, and I think that's what Trump's up to. Before we end the program, I want to talk quickly about tariffs. We'll get into this more another day too, but I've spent a lot of time talking about this on the program. I've also spent a lot of time talking about it on Fox. I don't know if you saw my 2 monologues over the weekend. Got a lot of very positive responses to those 2 monologues, especially Saturday night's monologue. And the guys here will tell you how much time I spend on preparing these things. And you know what's funny? It's like radio. The starter pistol fires off and I might change it. So on radio, I'm all prepared. I've spent all day getting ready. Go. And I change the subject. Just the way it is. On this show and on Fox, you know, we plan it out. It's not like we wing it and so forth and so on, but I might take it in a different direction, depending on what we're discussing. You know, you just can't be robotic about this. Same with the Fox show. If I start the Fox show, I might start to emphasize something else. Here we have Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary. Now, the only problem I have with Kevin O'Leary is you know he's a Trump supporter, but he won't just come out and say it. That's okay. He's gone further than most. He's talking about communist China, and let's hear what he says about what we need to do with communist China. Go.
104% tariffs on China are not enough. I'm advocating 400%. I do business in China. They don't play by the rules. They've been in the WTO for decades. They have never abided by any of the rules they agreed to when they came in for decades. They cheat, they steal IP. I can't litigate in their courts. They take product, technology, they steal it, they manufacture it, and sell it back here. Never has an administration.
400% tariffs? What would that look like?
I want Xi on an airplane to Washington to level the playing field. This is not about tariffs anymore. Nobody has taken on China yet, not the Europeans, no administration for decades. As someone who actually does business there, I've had enough. I speak for millions of Americans who have IP that have been stolen by the Chinese. I have nothing against the Chinese people. They brought great literacy, art, and tech to the world. The government cheats and steals, and finally, an administration, you may not like Trump, you may not like his style or his rhetoric, finally, an administration that puts up and says...
By the way, I find it funny when he says that, because he's the guy on Shark Tank who's the most obnoxious. I'm just saying. You may not like him and so forth and so on. See, I don't think you need to say that. You may not like Trump. You don't need to say that. It's just these are his policies. You're the former. You may not like Trump. Nobody ever says, look, you may not like Obama. You may not like Obama, but Obama. You may not like Hakeem Jeffries, or you may not like Schumer. No, they're all squirrely, good for nothings. Anyway, I don't. That's the kind of thing I don't really care for. Go ahead.
Enough. 400% tariffs tomorrow morning.
All right, let me tell you something. That's nice, tough talking. But what Trump is doing is he's ratcheting, and that's the right way to approach it. That's number one. Number two, there are going to be effects, and certainly in the short term. 70% of our pharmaceuticals are made with elements that we have to get from China. So if people go to the pharmacy and they're starting not to be able to get their whatever drug it is, some of them are very, very important to very sick people, that could become problematic. So I understand he's had a bad experience in communist China. A lot of people have. This needs to be done. I think Trump's approach is the right approach. Just ratchet it, ratchet it, ratchet. And here's what I also think. Let me put my marker down. I already posted it early yesterday morning. I think Trump is looking at, if not defeating the communist Chinese, severely damaging their economy and hence militarily, the way Reagan did the Soviet Union through economics. The truth is, as big as the communist Chinese economy is, it's not as big as ours. It's 2/3 or so the size of the American economy. They cannot beat us economically, at least right now. They cannot beat us, and I think that's what Trump's up to.
For all this and much more, sign up for Levin TV.